Colorado. This is Ron, K0AZA. I'm located in Fort Collins, and I'll be the net control for tonight's NCARC TechNet. The purpose of the TechNet is to enlighten amateur radio operators on topics of a technical nature. We'll do our best to answer any technical questions for the benefit of all those who are listening. If there's a subject that has never been made quite clear to you, this is a great opportunity to find an answer. If anyone feels they have information that will help regarding that subject, please give your call sign and net control will call on you. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergencies or priority traffic. If you need to use the system for emergency during the net, say break and give your call sign. We'll acknowledge you and suspend the net until you advise that you're clear. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All licensed amateur radio operators with 70-centimeter privileges are encouraged to check into the net. NCARC club membership is encouraged but never required for participation. Check-ins are requested for the purpose of counting participation, and no checkout is required. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly, first alphabetically, then again using the ITU phonetic alphabet, along with your name and location. When checking in, please state if you have a topic you'd like to discuss. I'll take check-ins in groups of 3. When I've acknowledged the first group of 3, then I'll move on to the next group. I'll start by taking check-ins from Echolink. Anyone on Echolink, please call now.
N0OHM, Bruce and Severance on Echolink.
I believe, just to confirm, that was N7OHM. Did I hear that correctly?
Number 0 Oscar Hotel Mike, Bruce and Severance.
Great, thank you for your check-in. Anybody else on Echolink? Hearing none, let's go to over-the-air check-ins. Call suffixes alpha through Mike. Alpha through Mike, please call now.
WA9FBO, Whiskey Alpha 9, Foxtrot Bravo Oscar, Bob and Laporte. Good evening, Ron.
This is N0MP, November 0 Echo Mike Papa, Greg in Fort Collins, with Debbie K0DBE, Kilo 0 Delta Bravo Echo. No traffic.
And this is KF0 ODD, Kilo Foxtrot 0 Oscar Delta Delta, Paul from Berthoud. No traffic.
Okay, let's hold up here. Net acknowledges WA9FBO, N0EMP, K0DBE, and KF0ODD. Hi, Bob, Greg, Debbie, and Paul. Next group of 3, go now.
N0BNK, November 0, Bravo, November Kilo, Rick in Laporte.
All right, I'll try again.
November 7, Juliet, Yankee, near Grover.
Traffic, and good evening, Ron.
Let's hold up there for a second. I've got N0BNK and N7JJY. There was somebody doubling with N7JJY. Can you come back, please?
K0ARD, Kilo 0 Alpha Romeo Delta, and in Fort Collins.
And AG0KO, Alpha Echo 0 Kilo Oscar, Brad in Wellington. No traffic. Good evening, Ron.
Okay, I got you that time, Brad. Thanks. And Ann, I've got you, K0ARD as well. Next group of 3, please go now.
Alpha Foxtrot 0, Alpha Sierra, Dave, Mobile, Denver.
This is AJ4YZ, Alpha Juliet 4 Yankee Zulu, Mitch, Loveland.
This is N7GPS, Greg in South Loveland.
Okay, let's hold up there. Net acknowledges AF0AS Dave, AJ4YZ Mitch, and N7GPS Greg. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and open it up to all call suffixes. All suffixes alpha through Zulu. Call now.
Whiskey Niner Bravo Papa Zulu. Whiskey Niner Bravo Papa Zulu.
KF0, TUV, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Tango Uniform Victor, Joe in Masonville.
AC0ZPY, this is Kilo Charlie 0, Zulu Papa Yankee, Jack in Loveland.
Okay, let's hold up there. Net acknowledges W9BPZ, KF0TUV, and KC0ZPY. It sounded like there was another station that tried checking in. I got a carrier, but no audio. If you could check your mic and maybe try it again.
Kilo 3, Sierra Alpha Delta, George and Windsor.
WB5PEX, Whiskey Bravo 5, Tango Echo X-Ray, Dale, Loveland, no traffic.
I got K3SAD, hi George, and WB5TEX. I think somebody was doubling with Dale. Doubling station, please come back now.
W5VV, Whiskey 5, Victor, Victor, Bill in Livermore.
Yeah, Whiskey 5, Victor, Victor, we got you that time. Next group of 3, please go now.
The Ziz, N0, NYY, November 0, November, Yankee, Yankee, Bart in Evans. I am with N0QXQ, November 0, Quebec, X-Ray, Quebec. Jean, Juliet, Echo, Alpha, November, also in Evans.
PD0, YOP, Kilo Delta 0, Yankee Oscar Papa, Scott in Fort Collins.
Let's hold up there. Net acknowledges N0NYY, N0QXQ, and KD0YOP. Anybody else want to check in before we get going with the net?
Yeah, Whiskey 0 Lima Echo India, W0LEI, Chad in Stout.
Hearing at Johnstown, no traffic.
KF0 SHX, Kilo Foxtrot 0 Sierra Hotel X-Ray Norm, no traffic. Good evening, Joe. Ron, sorry. No problem. Mary, I didn't catch your call sign. I should know it by now, but it's fallen out of my senior brain. Can you come back with that, please?
KF0 SHW, Kilo Foxtrot 0 Sierra Hotel.
Thanks, Mary. So the net acknowledges W0LEI, KF0SHW, and KF0SHX. Next group of 3, go now.
This is AE0CF, Alpha Echo 0, Charlie, Foxtrot, Ben, Fort Collins.
Okay, the net acknowledges AE0CF. Good evening, Ben. We'll go ahead and come back around and get any other check-ins here in a bit. I don't believe that anybody said they had a topic. Let's try that again. Does anyone have any topics for this evening?
NYY with an announcement.
Go ahead, Bart. The floor is yours.
I heard at least 2 sets of eyeballs roll because they knew what I was going to say. This Wednesday is the ham lunch at Perkins in Loveland, 2222 West Eisenhower, aka Highway 34. About 11:30, typically we get started. We're usually in the back room there at Perkins. It's a great opportunity to get to meet some of the people you've been hearing. Mark always called it TechNet with lunch, and it's a great opportunity to get together. 11:30 Wednesday, Perkins in Loveland. Look for the tallest flagpole in town. N0 in my way.
Thanks, Bart. Does anybody else have anything? Well, I had a couple of things. My first topic, I have a Radioddity GM30 GMRS radio. It's basically the same radio as a TYT UV88. It got dropped on top of Grey Rock Mountain this weekend and broke the display. It isn't physically broken, and the backlight comes on, but it's got kind of an interesting little dark pattern, and nothing is displaying. The radio still works fine, you just don't know what channel you're on. I just wondered if anybody had any tricks up their sleeve for reviving a display. Keep in mind it's a $35 radio, so we don't need to take extreme measures on it, but I just thought I'd throw it out. You know, my assumption was it's a goner, but I thought I'd mention it and see if anybody has had any success in reviving screens that get dropped on.
NYY?
Yeah, Bart, go ahead.
I cannot tell you about that specific radio, but what I can say is this. Those little screens, typically LCDs, are coupled to the circuit board most of the time through a little rubber strip that has conductive elements that pass through it. and they go from the screen to the circuit board. It's like a little piece of silicone rubber. It's normally just captive between the glass and the circuit board. It's not glued in place. It's not soldered in, but it's just captive between the two surfaces, and a strong enough shock can dislodge that. They're typically gray with a row of little black dots down each side that you often need a magnifying glass to see. So if you open up the case and get down to where the display meets the circuit board, look for that little gray silicone rubber to make sure that it is. You can see the contacts on the display with a bright light. You can see the contacts on the circuit board very, very easily. Make sure that that piece is lined up with the black dots facing the circuit board and facing the glass. And a lot of them are square, so you could put it in either way. But it probably dislodged itself out of place and zeroed my line.
That's exactly what I want to know. Well, at this point, dissecting it and seeing if I can fix it, I've got nothing to lose, because otherwise I keep the battery, keep the antenna, and throw the rest of it away. So I'll give that a try. Anybody else have any wisdom for me on this one? Okay, I had one other thing I was going to throw out. I got an email from Radioddity, however you want to say that, regarding the release of the Baofeng DM32UV. Now, before any of you guys start throwing things at me, I'm not a fan of Baofeng, but I thought it was interesting. This new radio they've come out with is a DMR, UHF, VHF, GPS, basically all the bells and whistles, USB-C charging for a grand whopping $95, and a double display, two-channel display in color. Not that I would rush out to buy this particular radio, but I think it's just indicative of the features that we're able to get for not a lot of money. I mean, I think if I were Anytone, unless they've got something new up their sleeve, I'd be a little nervous right now. I can post the link to it on our Discord server if anyone wants to look at it. But any questions or comments about that one?
And 0EMP.
And 0 NYY.
And KF0 ODD.
Okay, Greg, you were first.
So I saw a review on that recently, and it was a YouTube channel. It was probably either Ham Radio Crash Course or Ham Radio 2.0 reviewed that radio. So you might look there. Rocky Mountain Ham, RM Ham, is a very DMR-centric club, with most of their repeaters are DMR. DMR uses 2 time slots. So 2 people can be talking on the same frequency at the same time, and if they're using the 2 different time slots, there's no problem. There have been cheap Chinese radios in the past that the implementation of the timing was too sloppy to work without jamming the second channel, the second time slot. So there were some other radios that were banned by RM Ham on their network because of the sloppy timing. So I would check with them before buying one. And 0EMP.
God, that's good information. Well, I have no interest in getting one myself. My Anytone does everything I need, and I need another HT like I need a hole in my head. But throwing it out for the groups, that's good information. I appreciate that. NYY, you were next.
Just don't drop it.
Yeah, it was actually my son that dropped mine, not me. So I'll get a pass on that one. That's good advice. Paul, ODD, you are next.
Okay, so I have the UV32, which is the analog version, identical case, color, dimension, minus the GPS and minus. It does have some sort of GPS system on it, but it doesn't have the DMR. I will say, at first I was very impressed with it. Clarity, everything getting out. But I will say, it's sitting on my shelf, and it does not. The microphone does not work very well right now, and we didn't drop it. So it's going to be probably something down the line. I'm going to get to play with and tear it up, but it's non-functional as is, but it does receive very clear and very loud, and I was happy with that side of things, but it will not transmit so well. We have 0 ODD.
Yeah, interesting. Well, at the end of the day, they're built to a price point, and something's got to give. So, yeah. Anyway, any other comments on this?
Yeah, AS for the comment.
Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I may drop out here, but pretty much any tone, P-Tech, and nowadays, the P-Tech, which is any tone, and they are literally hardware, matched it up to any tone matching unit. So you're going to get pretty much exactly the same hardware and firmware or close to it across all three of those brands.
Yeah, you pretty well dropped out. Only heard about a third of what you were saying. I believe what you were saying was Anytone, B-Tech, and Baofeng are largely the same thing. Is that, or use the same basic radios? Is that what you were saying then?
That's an affirmative, yeah. As for the West and I-70,
Yeah, we pretty well lost you, but appreciate that input. Anybody else?
KF0 TUV.
Yeah, go ahead, TUV.
My words of warning would be for I have a radio that was brand new, a DB25, and it never worked. The warning is that you don't work with that. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the thing. KF0 TUV.
You know, I think a lot of it is just luck of the draw. I've got a DB20 that I use semi-frequently, and any number of Anytones and TYTs and others, and I've actually, with the exception of this one that got dropped, I've never had one fail, but I think I may be the exception rather than the norm. This is K0AZA, Net Control for the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. Any other discussion on this topic?
SAD.
Go ahead, George.
Believe it or not all cheap Chinese radios sound like that. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Are there any late check-ins, additional comments, questions, or other discussion? Hearing none, this concludes the NCARC TechNet. Net Control would like to thank each station for their participation. We had a total of 26 check-ins tonight. This net will occur again next Monday at the same time on this repeater. This is K0AZA closing the net at 1826 and returning the repeater to normal operation. 73, and good night, everyone.
This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. For more information, visit our website, ncarc.net. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.